Good morning, students. Hope you have a nice time. Weekend you have passed. And today we are going to tell you about a course that is related to the quality. And the course code is 18FT504 and name of that course is Quality Assurance in Garment Production. This is one of the very important topic in garment production, because anything you use in your day-to-day life also, that garment what we are using in this industry, that must be evaluated for quality. This is not only for day-to-day use but also for the export point of view also. So this is very important topic that 18FT504 to understand. Now this topic we are dividing into two halves. One of the halves actually we will talk about the quality, what is quality, and then we will talk about different dimensions of quality. Okay, so now quality, when you are talking, first point what is coming to our mind is the level of acceptance. Okay, and if this level of acceptance is okay, then we call it as an acceptable quality level, and sometimes we call it as a AQL also. AQL is a very famous terms used in the export industry, in the apparel sector. So acceptable quality level, when we are achieving, then we say that yes, the quality of that garment is achieved. Okay, we can use that garment or we can ship that garment to other countries. So that the level of acceptance, that's why is very, very important. Now, what do we mean by the level of acceptance? You see that from the buyer's point of view, level of acceptance is their standards. Okay, each garment they are having some standards. So if it reaches that standard, then we call it as a accepted level. So it has reached the accepted level. And from the consumer point of view also, if you want to purchase some garment, there also the level of acceptance comes, because you knowingly or unknowingly judge the quality of the garment. Okay, so different means by subjective way only you measure this, and if it really satisfies you, then you tell that yes, the quality of the garment is good and I want to purchase this garment. So that is also the level of acceptance. Okay, so consumer point of view also it is important, and also from the buyer's point of view also the level of acceptance is important, which is called it as a accepted or acceptable level of quality. Now in case of garment, if you see the garment quality, when you are judging, so there also such kind of different parameters come into play, different characteristics what we are talking. So color of the product, the durability of the product, the fit properties of the product. So all these things together, how it attracts the consumer, that is the quality, and the perception by which it satisfies our need. So that is the quality. So it is a combination of design and also the property. So design is one of the very important area of a garment, because it again changes over a period of time. So today's design may not be applicable for tomorrow, and when such kind of quality is getting achieved, we pass the consignment, okay, or we pass that particular product. And in the garment industry, if you see, you might have seen various garment industry. So in that garment industry, when we talk about the quality, we talk about this quality in two aspects. Okay, how it can be judged. One is the inspection by which you can ascertain the quality, and another way to ascertain the quality is the objective one, that is by testing. So testing and inspection, there are two ways by which the quality can be judged, and then if it reaches the particular standards or meets the requirement, then we okay the material, and that material can pass all these tests and inspection procedures as per the international standard, and a factory then can ship the goods to the other countries. Or from the consumer point of view, if you want to take, then yes, if the quality is meeting your requirement, you give it a go ahead certificate, and you just purchase that material because it satisfies your requirement. So that is also the quality. Now it is not all. You see that there are different dimensions are also there in the quality by which we describe a product, and those 8 dimensions of quality are to be considered when we try to tell about the quality of a product. Let us see, students, that how these 8 dimensions of qualities actually describe the product or the service. Now you can see, students, that one picture is there on the screen, and what does it depict? You see that this is a particular dress material, okay, and this very bright dress material is there, and it is a ladies garment kind of thing, and but what does it indicate? And from the quality point of view, what comes to your mind? So if you try to understand the description of the material, you have to go into the performance characteristics first. So one of the area of quality talks about, that's why the performance, okay. Now in this picture, what is the performance? What we call it as a performance here? You can see that it is a garment, but the brightness is very, very important here. The primary characteristics of a garment, okay. So the brightness, it attracts, brightness of the product or brightness of the picture also, you can see that it attracts you, okay, like an advertisement or any other. So it also talks about the performance, how this product is performed. It is a bright product. So main characteristics, if you see, is the performance in that particular product, and that is the case of apparel what I was talking, and that's why there are 2 aspects in it when we talk about this performance. One is whether it is appealing you, the product, and another is the added features kind of thing. What are the added features? Okay, so that comes under the quality, that is the feature. So this is also one of the dimensions of quality, that the added feature into this product, okay. Now take the example of this particular picture, and the picture actually 2 aspects are there in this particular garment. It appeals actually particular garment, and also there are certain added features are there. A lot of embroidery things are there inside the garment, and also the drape quality of that garment, okay. So that really is an added feature in the garment, okay. It is appealing you, and also there are certain added features are also there in this particular garment. So that also talks about the quality, okay. You feel satisfied by seeing this or wearing this. So of course it depends upon the individual choice, okay, personal preferences. That's why is very, very important in the feature. One person may like the product, another person may not like the product, okay. So feature, when you are talking about in the quality, we talk about little bit on the individual or personal preferences, how it one prefers this. One important parameter also is there in the quality when you are talking is the conformance, okay. Now what do you mean by the conformance? Okay, there are 2 aspects again. That industry point of view, when you are talking, we are talking about the buyer's perspective. So buyer actually is having some industrial norms are there for a particular garment, okay. So that they call it as a you see that industry standards, or they are reference standards, And second one is the workmanship. That is important from the consumer point of view, because this workmanship means how the stitching is there, how the material is looking like, and how all these buttons are getting fixed, how the sequins are getting fixed. These are the workmanship. So these two points are very important when we talk about the product conformance. We normally say that yes, product conforms to the standard. So standard means that industry standards. For example, if you see a particular kind of retail shop, there are certain consumers are there who are just trying to pull their best choices from the shelf, and then you can see that that workmanship is taking into consideration, because industrial standards, they may not judge at this condition, because it is a subjective way. They are looking at the product and then they see the workmanship of the product by seeing that how the stitching is there, whether buttons are all fixed properly, or the some of the attachments which are there in the garment that looks good and it fixed properly into that garment. So all these things, whether it fits to the body of that shape of the garment and all these things. So all these things coming under the conformance of the product from the consumer's point of view. Okay. So this is one of the dimensions of the quality. And next comes the consistency, that suppose a product is there, how much it is consistent, how long it will be there, okay, with me or with the company. So that is the consistency of the performance. First we have seen the performance of a material, and then we are seeing that what is the consistency of that performance, okay, whether we can rely upon into that kind of product. So that part is very important, and that is shown also in this particular picture, the consistency of the performance, whether I am buying this product, whether this will perform in a duration of time, expected duration of time or not. So that is the reliability. Okay. So that also one has to judge the reliability of the product. Now there are certain parameters by which this reliability also can be judged. Now next parameter which is getting judged in the quality when we talk about is the useful life. Okay. Now useful life means, what do you mean students by useful life? Can anybody tell what is the useful life? Okay. This is very important for any kind of soft good products like apparel or home textiles kind of thing. So the life expectancy of the product, or what is the useful life of the product. So it is nothing but when we are using a product, okay, and we can use it, okay, until and unless it is getting degraded or anything, it threads are tearing it off, or it looks very ugly when you are really wearing it. So that we call it as useful life, that it's all the properties, okay, are getting maintained or it retained into that particular material. So that is called the useful life. Okay. So you can use up to that life, and after that you have to do certain other things with that. So that we will talk in some other chapters, that what a consumer should do when the useful life is getting exhausted, and what he or she should do with that particular garment. There are various ways are there, whether question comes from the sustainability point of view, that whether this material is a degradable material, or if it is not degradable material, then what we should do? We should recycle it, produce some new material out of this. So those are the things covered under this useful life when it is getting exhausted. So that is not the part of our discussions today. So we will only concentrate upon this useful life. Now including the repair also. Suppose sometimes a garment is alright, but due to certain use the button is coming out, or the thread is getting broken, or some holes are getting created there in the garment. So all these things can be repaired. So all these things together is the durability. We talk about the durability of the product. Okay. So this is also one of the areas of quality by which it is getting judged. So durability of the material. We often says how much this material is durable, okay, when we try to purchase a material. So that is one of the dimensions also of the quality, okay, and we talk about these dimensions later on also when we talk in detail. Now, life of the product and service. This is very, very important because everybody wants to purchase some material which will really is durable material. So he or she can use that material for a longer perspective, a longer point of time. This is also very, very important when we purchase a durable material. Do you know why, students? Because recently we are all talking about the sustainability. Now, if a product or kind of service is durable, then we can use it for a longer time. Like a product, if I take an examples, so if it is getting used for a longer duration of time, so we will not purchase a new material. So new resources will not come into the picture, and energy cost also will be reduced, and in that fashion we can save lot of things for the environment, okay, like water you can save, we can save the energy of the material. So in that fashion the life of the product is one of the way. If it is really durable, then it can really help to achieve the sustainability in the environment. Now service also similar thing, that service sector, when we are talking the durable service kind of thing, okay, so services we can rely upon, okay, those kind of things are there in the durability sector. Next point which comes under this quality dimensions kind of thing is the serviceability. Serviceability means that we can purchase any product which can be repairable, okay, so you can repair, okay. Some resolution also can be made from that particular garment or particular service, okay. Some service sector, if it is there, then some resolution can be achieved. Yes, we will give this material within 3 working days, okay. We will test this product and give it in 3 working days. We will deliver the material within 5 working days. So these are the resolution. So repair is one of the important parameters, and resolution also is one of the important parameters in the serviceability, okay. So any product can be repaired into that, or any kind of instrument can be repaired. So those are all coming under the serviceability sector. So students, we have discussed about certain parameters of quality wherein the different dimensions are there of quality, okay. So we will talk little bit more now with different other examples also of these aspects. And to sum it up, now you can see that we have discussed about performances, we have discussed about the features, okay. Then we discussed about the durability, we have discussed about the conformance, okay, serviceability we have discussed, okay, reliability of the product we have discussed, then aesthetics of the product, and finally we have seen the perceived quality. I do not know which one you like most, because all the dimensions of quality are equally important. It is depending upon the situation, how a customer looks like or how customer decides it. But actually all the parameters are equally important when you try to describe the quality, seam and the thread performance. And competitions and customers, these are very important parameters for quality assurance when you talk about, because when you assure the quality in a particular industry, so you have to really go as per the customer's requirement, okay. Because if you cannot do that, if you cannot produce a good quality depending upon these 8 dimensions what I have discussed, you will be out of the competitions, because customers, as you all know, that they are contacting with different factories, okay. So different sources are there, so from there they will purchase otherwise. So you have to assure the quality by knowing that competition which is existing in the market, and the customers are very, very careful today's century. So they all talks about the quality, the perceived quality, okay, what quality we should get. So all the 8 dimensions of quality, that's why is very, very important in this particular chapter. The quality of the garment is satisfied our requirement.